Good day. Thank you for tuning in to the 2019 General Election Candidate Forum for the City of Tumwater Council Position Number 1. This forum is presented by the League of Women Voters of Thurston County and Thurston Community Media. The League is a nonprofit organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens in their government. The League neither supports nor opposes candidates or parties. We are nonpartisan. The League registers new voters, works to get out the vote, works on studies, issues, and advocates for its positions with governing bodies. Despite its name, the League is open to both men and women age 16 and up. Hi, I'm Gayla Reese-Walsh. I'm from the League, and I'm going to be moderating the forum today. Our candidates today for City of Tumwater Council Position Number 1 are Leatta Dahlhoff and Pamela Hanson. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For this forum, each candidate will have 2 minutes for an opening statement. Then I'll ask questions in an alternating order. First, I'm going to ask Leatta the first question. She'll have 2 minutes to respond, and Pamela has 1 minute. And then the second question, I will ask Pamela the question. She'll have 2 minutes to respond, and Leatta will have 1 minute to respond. And we'll do that till we get to the last question, which you'll both have 2 minutes to answer. We'll begin with opening statements, first with Leatta and then from Pamela.
Thank you. Hi there. My name is Leatta Dahlhoff, and I'm running to retain my seat on Tumwater City Council. I was appointed by unanimous vote in February 2018. Why am I running? Every aspect of my life reflects my inherent joy and commitment in serving our community and protecting our environment. My life goal continues to be to work towards a sustainable future where our community members have access to services, we preserve and protect our environment, and we have smart economic development. Who am I? I'm a daughter, I'm a caregiver, I'm a friend. I'm an advocate, I'm an ally, I'm a board member. I am a chemist, an environmentalist, a change agent. I am a union member, I'm an environmentalist, and I'm a traveler. I'm also a foodie. And more importantly, I'm your council member for City of Tumwater. What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about developing the brewery district, developing a community center, fighting climate change, and collaborating and partnering with local nonprofit organizations. I'm interested in everyday issues because Tumwater is my home. I have a 41-year history with Tumwater. I show up, I stand up, I speak up. My name is Leatta Dahlhoff, and I ask for your support. I ask for your vote to retain my seat on Tumwater City Council.
Thank you, Leatta. Pamela?
Thank you. My name is Pamela J. Hanson, and I'm a candidate for Tumwater City Council Position 1. I was born in the old St. Pete's Hospital. I moved to Tumwater before I was 1 year old, and I remember the old Quonset hut on Capitol Boulevard, which is Old 99. It was our laundromat, and it's where Le Schwab Tire is. I remember the fuel rationing lines when I was in the back seat as a child in a white Ford station wagon, and that's where Taco Time is, near Starbucks. My 3 priorities for the City of Tumwater is to reduce spending, to reduce growth or slow growth, and to disclose information, financial information, to the citizens of Tumwater. I have been active in city government by going to city council meetings, by going to city council work sessions, by going to other city meetings such as Civil Service Commission, and I have taped some meetings and put some information on Thurston Community Media, where I am a volunteer producer and a member. One of the major issues that brought my emotion into filing as a candidate for office is the brewery district and the golf course. And when I learned that at a Tumwater City, a planning commission meeting, that the golf course was $500,000, $500,000 for no better word, in the hole. So I have 1 year of data of debt that I am not happy about for the citizens of Tumwater. I mentioned this and I have to stop there.
Thank you, Pamela. So Leatta, as I mentioned, I'm going to ask you the first question. You have 2 minutes, and then Pamela, you have the opportunity to talk about it for 1 minute. This is a two-part question. Where do things stand now with the old brick brewery, and what are the main issues involved? What kind of development do you envision in the brewery area?
Great question. Thank you. So it's a challenging area. There is the hill that we call the major portion, and then the valley. That is owned by one private owner who lives in California. Down in the historic district in the valley is another owner. That owner a couple years ago donated the brewhouse tower to the city of Tumwater. We are moving forward with that development, which is super, super exciting with RHD Enterprises. You might see when you're driving by the freeway, the scaffolding, the roof. And so with that, we're starting a capital campaign program to raise the funding to match dollars that we have received from the legislature, and partnering with the South Puget Sound Community College with the Center for Excellence in really developing, spurring that economic development, which would hopefully lead the private owners to join us in that development. So some exciting things happening. What we envision is a cultural center where we're bringing in our First Nations and the tribes in our community, opening it up to the public, and really making it a community asset and a community resource for our members throughout Tumwater and the South Sound.
Thank you. Pamela, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. This is a tough issue for me because I grew up sneaking into the tours of the Olympia Brewery, remembering and getting soda pop at the end of the tour with the other people, and also the brewery whistle. I am unhappy with the condemnation issue of the water rights. It seems to be a continuous problem, and I was at a meeting where Leatta Dahlhoff participated in approving almost $30,000 for wayfinding signs that 2 of them I have noticed are placed already. I think the money could have been spent differently or not spent. That's just my opinion.
Thank you, Pamela. All right, Pamela, you have the second question. You get 2 minutes, and Leatta, you get 1 minute to talk about it. And this is also 2 parts. It's a little bit long. As part of the Thurston Climate Mitigation Plan with Lacey, Olympia, and the county, Tumwater is working with the Thurston Regional Planning Council to address climate change issues. This is the second part of it. What action items do you support, and how do you propose to further these efforts to combat climate change?
On this issue, I am uninformed as far as the plan. Climate change, my approach is to reduce use of fossil fuels and encourage use of renewable resources. There are plenty of efforts, opinionated efforts, that are taking place throughout our state and locally, like at the state capitol, that are people that are invested in that issue more than I have been educated on the issue. So my approach as a possible Tumwater City Council member is to listen to the issues and listen to the plan, participate in the decisions, and inform the citizens of Tumwater of the cost.
Thank you, Pamela. Leatta, 1 minute.
This issue is close to my heart. I have been a chemist and a toxics reduction specialist for over 20 years, 17 years with the Department of Ecology. There is no time to wait. We are in phase 2 of that plan. It is an exciting time to see the local jurisdictions not wait any longer and take those actions. With regards to the city of Tumwater, there's some low-hanging fruit regarding our electric vehicles, increasing that fleet, doing energy efficiency of our buildings, solar energy. So Tumwater is taking a lot of steps. We agree with all the concepts and pieces in those plans because we've been part of those discussions since the beginning. So we continue to move forward, and we're not going to wait. And the positive of this is there is community engagement. So that feedback from the community directs our agenda because we're in this together.
Thank you, Leatta. All right, the third question goes to Leatta, and if any time you want me to repeat the question, just let me know. All right, this is another long one, and there's an introductory part and then 2 questions. The spring-summer Tumwater newsletter mentions several initiatives on maintaining affordable housing. All these initiatives concern fixed unit dwellings or preserving existing mobile home parks. First question. What, if any, initiatives are being considered for recreational vehicles, or RVs, used as full-time dwellings? And what do you think of such a proposal?
Thank you for that question. That actually is on our agenda to discuss and look at our ordinance. One of the options that we are looking at in Tumwater is having mobile home renters become the owners of that property. So it's sustainable long-term living so that those who own are not tempted to sell to developers and we lose that affordable type of housing. So it's one thing Tumwater is moving forward on. And then with the agenda of looking at types of vehicles, Tumwater is in favor of offering other types of housing. That means we'd have to look at our zoning and the locations to make sure there's supportive services for those areas. So we are in favor of looking at all types of housing that meet the needs of our community members because it's only getting worse and we have to do something.
Okay, thank you, Leatta. Pamela, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. I was not prepared to disclose this in this forum. However, listening to Leatta's answer, you need to know as viewers that I filed for office when I was going to city council meetings and going to city council work sessions, and then I was made homeless by Prime Locations. They wouldn't accept my rent check. They wouldn't renew my lease. I took it to court. The court commissioner decided to not let it go to trial. I am living in my vehicle. The city of Tumwater is not dealing with these homeless issues, and talking about vehicles and taking it to the Planning Commission is not an immediate answer.
Thank you, Pamela. All right, the next question, it will go to Pamela first for 2 minutes. Please describe the current homelessness situation in Tumwater, and how do you propose to address this issue, and how would you engage homeless individuals in the process?
How would I describe the homeless issue in Tumwater? I do not feel that the homeless count is accurate. In my experience over the last few months, there is, in my opinion, too many people living in vehicles and moving from parking lot to parking lot, using the bathrooms at Walmart. And Walmart is a wonderful business in our community. The struggle to not have your vehicle window knocked on like mine was when I was parked waiting for a business to open is tremendous. I am not a drug user. I am not a drinker. And to have a police officer knock on my window and exit, when I exited the vehicle, have 3 police officers with a flashlight in my face and have them tell me to move on to a campsite, to the rest stop, or to the DOT rest stop, to a campsite, to the truck stop, or to a DOT rest stop, which is a 31-mile loop, is extremely humiliating. And I am a Tumwater resident. So I think many of the candidates may not be disingenuous, they just don't understand. My income is $1,231 a month, and I don't qualify for an apartment. This is a long-term problem for me. I live in a vehicle. Thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. Leatta, you have 1 minute.
Thank you, Gila. One person homeless is too much, and seeing what Pamela has gone through, because she has testified and attended council meetings, we have to do something. And what does that look like when you have policies and procedures and ordinances, when you have an immediate need? So that long-term versus short-term need. What Tumwater has been doing, and I agree, we need to pick up the pace. There's no question about that. We have 2 documents that are online regarding affordable housing and those that are street dependent. We are looking at partnering with senior services with their shared housing program. So there are things that we're doing. It's not fast enough, and I acknowledge that we need to pick up the pace.
All right, thank you, Leatta. This is the last question, and you both will have 2 minutes. I'm going to start with Leatta. What is your assessment of bus service in Tumwater, and what are or should be the plans for increasing service, and what would you advocate for?
That's a great question. When I sought the appointment to Tumwater City Council last year, one of the questions was public transportation, that live-work balance. For me to get from my job in Lacey from Tumwater, it would take 1 hour and 47 minutes. That's not realistic, that's not viable. So working with Intercity Transit, who does come twice a year to the city and talks about current status, future status, and it always comes down to the chicken and the egg. You need the people to get the service, you need the service to get the people, right? So it has been an ongoing discussion, ongoing concern with Intercity Transit. With their passing of their levy, they have more funding to increase their bus routes, so we are looking at those routes in Tumwater. It also concerns my mother, who I'm a caregiver for, who is losing her vision and will need types of transportation. So looking at access for all. Also, my partner rides the bus everywhere. So the challenges are present, are there, and we need to have continuing conversations with Intercity Transit to figure out how to move forward, and I think we're on the right route. No pun intended.
Thank you, Leatta. Pamela, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I probably won't use the whole 2 minutes. I grew up in Tumwater. The transit system was very visible when I was in middle school to me because it stopped in front of the middle school. I worked at the transit center in downtown Olympia as a security officer. I trust the transit center to determine where services are needed. I think there is too much interaction and not enough action.
Thank you. And now we have 1 minute each for closing statements. Go ahead, Leatta, followed by Pamela.
Okay. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I ask for your support, I ask for your votes. I have a lifelong commitment to develop the future of Tumwater. I bring the lens of my background in science to protect and preserve our environment. I bring a background of board activity. I serve on the board of Senior Services for South Sound, Homes First, and Family Support Center. I bring those gaps, those needs to the council, and I'm an advocate and an ally, and I want to make sure that everyone has access to the community services that they need, and my time is up.
Thank you, Leatta. Pamela?
Thank you. Thank you, viewers, for listening to me and considering me for Tumwater City Council Position 1. I have term limited myself, and I am determined to serve the people for that $800 a month that you will be paying me, to disclose information to you, to slow growth, to slow the process of unnecessary spending so that you can have the information not at a city council meeting when you can't see what money is being spent when the rap of the gavel approves the consent calendar. That's it.
Thank you, Pamela and Leatta. I really appreciate you participating today in our League of Women Voters General Election Forum for the City of Tumwater Council Position Number 1. We encourage viewers to vote in the general election. That's going to be on November 5th, 2019. And remember, ballots are postage free, so just put them in the mail. And in particular, we'd like to thank Thurston Community Media for their ongoing support and their assistance today.
Thank you.
Thank you.